So it's good morning from us on our final
full day.
Final full day on Bolette. And we decided to try and get breakfast this morning up in the buffet, haven't we?
Yeah.
In the search of something hot.
Yeah, but the service has been quite good up there.
It's not like a buffet, is it?
No, it's worth going up there, really.
Yeah, and see what we can find up there. So we'll see you soon. So we've just come back from breakfast, haven't we?
Yeah.
Up in the buffet. And what a lovely experience it was, really.
It's really nice that they seat you. You don't have to run around finding somewhere to sit.
No. They found us a table for two, didn't they?
They did.
Nice young man.
And then you can go off and get your breakfast.
Yeah, I went off to the egg station and had a freshly cooked omelette done for me. And then I went down the next little bit and got me beans and hash browns and freshly cooked toast. And it was really nice. And you, what did you have?
I had just some bacon and mushrooms and tomato. I had a drop of yoghurt beforehand, flavoured yoghurt.
And then you ordered the tea, and we had a pot of tea delivered to the table.
Each,
which is rather nice. Fresh hot tea. So that was quite good. After breakfast, we donned our overcoats and went outside so we could witness the transit through the lock. As you can see, there were people in all vantage points, just waiting to see our transit. There are 4 locks on the North Sea Canal, with 2 of them dating back to 1876, but the one we were using was the new sea lock that was built in 2019. The dimensions are quite astounding. They're 500 metres long by 70 metres wide and 18 metres deep, and those measurements make it the world's largest canal lock. We did seem to be waiting an awful long time for things to happen, and then the captain made an announcement.
With the local, we are just going 1 foot up, about 30 centimeters we are going up, and in about 10 to 15 minutes the gate will open forward and we will proceed to the North Sea, to the sea water again. Enjoy the scenic views and enjoy sea day. Thank you.
While we were here, we had our final look around the top decks. If anyone can name what all these flags are, please do in the comments below. So we've just come back from being outside to film us going through the lock, and boy oh boy it's sunny out there, but my goodness it's bitterly cold. So we come back in and get some more clothes, and we're going up in a minute to find out how they do chart navigation, which is something we've never seen before. That's about 11:15 this morning, but hopefully we're going to grab a hot cup of coffee before we do that. Let's see what happens. Well, the good news is we did get our cup of coffee, but while we were waiting for the chart reading presentation, we bumped into these lovely people, Alan and Yvonne, and ended up chatting to them for so long that we completely missed the presentation. So we headed up to the pool area to watch the martinis being made, and afterwards this happened. One thing that still happens on Fred Olsen that we've missed on other lines is the ice carving. It really is incredible the skill these guys have got. Continuing our busy day, after packing it was time for an interview with the captain.
To sit and talk with everyone, because as we know, these short cruises, they're a little busy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are demanding, let's say.
I think obviously it comes to it when you get these longer cruises and there's 3 days at sea, 2-3 days at sea on their way down, say, to the Canary Islands. But a cruise a little bit like this one, it's port, 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 must take up a lot more of your time because there's so many more operations happening.
Yeah, especially in, with the long pilotage and with all this, in North Europe, this time of year, etc., it's taking much longer, much more time, and much more surprises also possible.
Hi, thank you. At what point would you need to evacuate a ship or put a distress signal out? How bad would a storm need to be? I'm asking because my partner, this is his first cruise, and he was kind of freaking out on the other night. There's nothing to worry about, but just curious.
No, okay, it's different if we end up in the heavy storm in Bay of Biscay, where we have 10-12 meters of waves, then you will feel it on the ship. And it's different when we have storm in the North Sea of the Rotterdam or Amsterdam, because it's quite shallow water, it's quite protected. The ship did not move much, as you must agree. It was all wind affected, which we could stay, that you don't feel it mostly. So if you're in the middle of the ocean with the low pressure coming, Bay of Biscay, where the storm is become violent, again, evacuate is something, the last thing which you would do in any storm.
So we've come back into Ocean Bar, which is where we started our journey on Fred Olsen, not on the opening day. But we got a different drink, haven't we, Lindsay?
Yes, this time we got Hendrick's Perfect Serve.
Back to our old favourites.
Yeah.
So just check it, Liz.
Well, it's going to be a bit strong.
It is.
It is very nice.
Very nice, yeah. The Ocean Bar is also the early evening venue for ballroom dancing with a live band. Tonight we were eating in Fred Olsen's other specialty dining venue, Vasco's, for a wonderful Indian meal. And here's a look at the menu if you'd like to see it. Here in Vasco, and what have you got to say to that, Lindsay?
Cheers.
Cheers. All the best.
Yes.
Nice. Is the glass big enough?
Yeah, it's not full enough, but it's big enough.
Yeah, but it keeps getting filled up anyway, so it's all right.
It's very good.
Yeah. So in Vasco tonight, there's 4 starters, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they serve them all to you as a sharing platter sort of thing. But because neither of us like mussels, we've asked if we could substitute the mussels for something else. And they've been very happy to accommodate us. So we'll see what it's like.
And what have you decided to have for main course?
Main course, so I'm going to have a lamb dish with toasted coconut and going spices for main, and you, Lindsay?
I'm having beef.
You're having beef, and what were the other options?
There was a prawn one.
There was a prawn one and a pumpkin and papaya, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I don't really like prawn curries.
For me, everything else, except for the beef, had coconut of some sort.
And you don't really like it coconut. And it comes with lots of accessories as well, doesn't
Apparently,
it?
yeah.
So we'll find out what they are. When it all arrives, I think we give them a table full.
Dillis is calling. She's getting thirsty.
Is she? Oh, where is she?
Oh, she's hiding at the moment.
Oh, no. She's a devil for that red wine.
She is a bit, yeah.
If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us produce more content like this. Thank you. So before our starters, we've got a huge great pile of bread and chapatis and poppadoms and what's the other one? Potato and something thing. And then we've got these great big pots things to go with them. So let's get going. So we've had our starters, and we had a beef one, 2 lots of mushroom ones, and you had the chicken one, didn't you? And they were really nice, and they all go really well with the dips that we had to go with the bread in the first place.
To be perfectly honest, I'd be more than happy if they just kept bringing me that all night.
They were really tasty,
really
weren't they?
Yeah, really good.
And what do you think of the poppadoms?
The poppadoms are very good.
They were very thin.
And the other chapatis and things, when we cut, sort of halved them to share, burnt our fingers, didn't we?
Yeah, they did. It was really hot and lovely. Really nice food. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So this is my main course, the lamb, and then we've got a huge pile of extra things. We've got spinach and potatoes. We've got taka dal. We've got vegetable pita. We've got steamed rice. We've got spicy potatoes, and that is Lindsey's beef dish. So how was the main course, Mrs. Stone?
It was fine. It was, to be perfectly honest, I kept finding meat. I kept finding slices of meat. I thought I had 2, but there weren't. There were 3.
Yeah.
So there was loads of it.
It was good, wasn't it?
Loads of bits and pieces to go with it as well.
Any bits and pieces you fancied most? Or not so much?
No, not so much. I would personally have gone back to the pre-starters.
Yeah.
And then the starters, and had them all over again.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you'd have had your poppadoms all night, wouldn't you? So I ate all mine, as you can see here. Ooh, yeah, all gone. But it did beat me, the rest of it. I'll just show you what we got left over, because I just can't eat any more stuff, but it was lovely. So I wasn't over fond of the spinach one there. The spicy potato was good. The dal was nice.
It's all right.
And both lots of rice was nice.
Yeah, it was fine actually.
Yeah, so it was all good, but yeah, I'm a bit stuffed. Oh, you remembered this time, did you?
I was reminded
Yes.
by our next door table.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the creme caramel was lovely. Not so sure about the rest of it.
There's lumps in it, isn't it? And it's sort of-
yeah. It's fruits, but it just doesn't seem right. It looks as though it's going to be rice pudding, and psychologically it's not. It's not
like
right.
You get a hard lump in the bottom, and it's not very nice.
No.
But that's just us.
Yes, just us.
Other people might love it.
Yeah.
And so we come to the end of another cruise. After another nice final night where we spent the evening doing the quiz with Gil and Sandra, came second again tonight, and then went up to the observatory and had some great music with JD Soul. He really is a very special performer, and so good with all us passengers. So that's it, our first Fred Olsen cruise, and it was good. I think we'll definitely be coming back at some point, and we'll let you know what happens in the morning as soon as we get to Southampton. Cheerio for now. Good morning. We're back in Southampton now. We've just been woken up by an announcement blasted through the cabin at 7:15. And it really is quite frustrating that they've told us that our disembarkation colours will be called. But we have no idea what time and no idea what order they're coming in. So breakfast entry finishes at 8 o'clock. So we're off to breakfast in a minute, and it's all a bit bizarre and weird. It's almost like they're trying to kick you off the ship as soon as possible. But we'll see. We've had a good time anyway. And that was the end of our Fred Olsen cruise. We had a really good time overall. There were a few little niggles now and again, but that's to be expected, and a few things that we didn't understand how they worked because it was a new cruise line, but we will know next time. And yes, as I said earlier, there will be a next time. We just have to work out when, and I think this time we'd like to go somewhere warm and enjoy the rest of the outside facilities of the ship. So before we sign off for this series, here's just a few of our fondest memories of while we were on board. And don't forget to look out for our future videos. We'll be doing a full ship tour at Bolette, a review of the dining choices that we enjoyed while we were on board, and an overall review of the ship and the cruise itself. If you want to see any of these videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get told whenever we upload any of them.